Welcome back, movie lovers. Today, we're diving into the sci-fi romance thriller Passengers, directed by Morton Tildum and starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. This movie takes us on a breathtaking journey through space aboard the starship Avalon, exploring themes of isolation, survival, and the power of human connection. Let's break down the story and uncover its deeper meanings. The story begins with the starship Avalon, a state-of-the-art vessel transporting 5,000 passengers and 258 crew members to the colony planet Homestead 2. The journey is supposed to take 120 years, with everyone on board in a state of suspended animation. However, 30 years into the voyage, the ship encounters a massive asteroid field. Despite its sophisticated shield system, a large asteroid breaches the defenses, causing a series of critical failures throughout the ship. As a result of the damage, a malfunction occurs in the hibernation pod of mechanical engineer Jim Preston, played by Chris Pratt. Jim awakens, thinking he's reached his destination, only to realize he's alone and 90 years too early. Jim's initial excitement quickly turns to confusion and panic as he discovers the situation. The ship's systems are designed to prevent any tampering with the hibernation pods, leaving him with no way to put himself back to sleep. He attempts to contact the ship's crew but finds that the crew's quarters are locked and inaccessible. As the reality of his isolation sets in, Jim explores the ship, enjoying its luxurious amenities like high-end restaurants, a grand concourse, and a fully stocked bar staffed by Arthur, the ship's friendly android bartender, played by Michael Sheen. Despite the comforts, Jim's loneliness becomes unbearable. He sends messages into the void of space, hoping for a response that will never come. His despair deepens, and he contemplates ending his life by stepping out of an airlock. After a year of isolation, Jim reaches a moral crossroads. During one of his aimless explorations, he discovers the pod of Aurora Lane, a talented writer and journalist played by Jennifer Lawrence. As he reads her writings and watches her video logs, Jim becomes infatuated with her. He faces a profound ethical dilemma: remain alone for the rest of his life or wake Aurora up, condemning her to the same fate. Jim wrestles with his conscience, knowing the gravity of the choice. Ultimately, his loneliness wins, and he overrides the hibernation pod systems, waking Aurora under the guise of another malfunction. Aurora wakes up, bewildered and terrified, just as Jim was. He lies to her, pretending they both woke up accidentally. As Aurora comes to terms with their situation, she and Jim grow closer. They bond over their shared experience of being stranded in space. Jim reveals that he was an engineer on Earth, seeking a fresh start on Homestead 2, while Aurora explains her desire to write a book about being one of the first people to explore a new world and return to Earth. Their relationship blossoms into romance, and they share memorable moments, from extravagant dinners to thrilling spacewalks. They even use the ship's gravity-defying dance floor to share a unique dance experience. Their love story unfolds beautifully, but all is not as perfect as it seems. Jim and Aurora's idyllic life aboard the Avalon comes crashing down when Arthur, the android bartender, accidentally reveals the truth. During a casual conversation, Arthur mentions Jim's year of solitude before waking Aurora. Shocked and horrified, Aurora realizes Jim woke her up deliberately. She feels betrayed, robbed of her future, and furious that he played God with her life. Aurora's reaction is one of deep anger and sadness. She confronts Jim, accusing him of being selfish and taking away her chance at a new life. The once loving relationship disintegrates, and Aurora isolates herself, unable to forgive Jim. As tension between Jim and Aurora mounts, the Avalon begins to experience severe malfunctions. Gravity failures, power surges, and unexplained system errors threaten the stability of the ship. The situation escalates when Gus Mancuso, the ship's chief deck officer, played by Lawrence Fishburne, awakens from his hibernation pod. Unlike Jim and Aurora, Gus's pod was damaged due to the ship's malfunctions, causing him to suffer from acute health issues. With Gus's access to the ship's systems, the trio discovers that the Avalon is on the brink of catastrophic failure. The asteroid impact caused damage to the ship's reactor cooling system, leading to a slow buildup of heat. If left unchecked, the reactor will explode, destroying the entire ship and killing everyone on board. Gus, weakened by his condition, provides Jim and Aurora with the necessary information to fix the ship. They need to vent the reactor's heat manually, a dangerous task that requires accessing the ship's exterior. With time running out, Jim and Aurora must put aside their differences to save themselves and the thousands of lives still in hibernation. Jim dons a spacesuit and ventures outside the ship to open the exhaust vent manually. Aurora assists him from inside, navigating through the ship's damaged systems. The intense scene sees Jim struggling to open the door while facing the harsh realities of space. He eventually succeeds but is blasted into space by the force of the venting heat. Aurora, determined not to lose him, manages to retrieve Jim using a tether. Back inside the ship, Jim is critically injured, but Aurora revives him using the ship's advanced medical bay. With the immediate danger averted, they face a new decision. Jim discovers that one of the medical pods can function as a hibernation chamber, allowing Aurora to sleep through the rest of the journey to Homestead 2. He offers her the chance to return to sleep, acknowledging the wrong he did. Aurora, however, chooses to stay awake with Jim, recognizing the love they share despite the circumstances. She decides to live her life with him aboard the Avalon, embracing the reality of their situation. They reconcile, and together they make the most of their time, creating a life filled with love and creativity on the ship. The movie concludes with a time jump to 88 years later, as the Avalon finally reaches Homestead 2. The remaining passengers awaken to a surprising sight. The grand concourse of the ship is filled with lush vegetation, a testament to the life Jim and Aurora cultivated. The once sterile environment has been transformed into a warm, welcoming space, filled with greenery, artwork, and evidence of the life they built together. Passengers is a film that challenges us to consider the moral complexities of life and the choices we make. It explores themes of loneliness, love, and the human desire for connection, even in the most isolated of circumstances. Jim's decision to wake Aurora raises ethical questions about autonomy and the consequences of our actions. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth exploration of Passengers. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more movie recaps and explanations. Let us know in the comments what movie you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep exploring the stars.